Hello there, this is James and you're watching Tixee Live. In fact, you're watching Tixee Live, watch along to the Bank of England interest rate decision. But before we get into this, or get into that, should I say, remember these little videos or these little broadcasts are for educational purposes only, and in no way whatsoever should ever be treated as advice. I always suggest you do your own research and do your own due diligence. And of course, know the risks at hand before entering any trade. With that out of the way, let's get started. So here we go. This is the watch along this week. We'll watch along the Bank of England base rate decision. Okay, base rate decision. And we've had a surprise today with the SNB increasing interest rates when nobody expected it. The question being asked, is the Bank of England going to surprise us as well today? Now, if you look at the other interest rates of other nations, 175 United States, Canada 150, Australia 0.85, Euro, obviously we discussed that, and the UK currently at 1%. The expectation in general is that the Bank of England will increase interest rates by 0.25 basis points, 1.25. That is the general consensus. However, there was rumors because of the surprises we've had, and obviously because of the fact that the Fed was very aggressive yesterday with interest rates and increased it by 0.75, whether or not the UK could potentially surprise the market and be aggressive as well, maybe even raise interest rates by 50 basis points, not 25. Don't forget, that was the surprise we got today from the SNB. Now, other banks are pretty much staying in the lines of 0.25 basis points. TDS is expectation is 25 basis points. What else we have? We have, and actually, so they expect by the end of the year for the Bank of England to have interest rates at 2.25%. Currently, it's 1%. Deutsche Bank, they believe 0.25. Societe Generale, 0.25. ING, 0.25. Wells Fargo, 0.25. So the general consensus is that the Bank of England will not do any surprises today. However, I want to have a quick look at what could possibly swing this, okay? And that is, of course, this is what is interesting as well. This is what comes out at the same time as interest rates and can actually move the market sometimes more than the interest rate announcement. And that is the MPC vote, the MPC vote. This comes out at the same time. Okay, and I'll tell you and explain to you what the MPC vote is all about. Now, this obviously, MPC stands for the Monetary Policy Committee, okay? And basically includes 9 members, okay, which includes the Bank of England governor, 2 deputy governors, chief economist, executive director of markets or stability, and 4 external members, okay? Now, these 9 members, they're the ones who get together, discuss the UK's current economic state or situation. And they're the ones who make the decision on whether to raise interest rates, keep interest rates where they are, or decrease interest rates. And obviously, whoever has the most votes tends to win. Or not tend to win, it's not winning, but that decision is what the Bank of England goes with. So this is what's interesting, okay? Is because really you have the battle of the doves and the hawks with the MPC, okay? Which members of this MPC are hawkish and which members of this committee are dovish. And don't forget, doves, they don't like to raise interest rates. They indicate they like to keep it stable. They're more nervous. Hawks are aggressive, and like Jay Powell is very much a hawk at the moment, okay, for example, and they do like to raise interest rates. Now, I thought this would be quite interesting to sort of have a little look at. Okay, have a little look at. Now, in the doves corner, okay, these are the doves, or considered to be doves, on the MPC committee. So you have Cornlife, Tenero, Broadbent, and obviously Bailey, who's the Bank of England governor. They're all considered fairly dovish. Okay, so that's obviously 4 members there are doves or considered dovish. However, in the hawks corner, so in the hawk side, okay, you have the likes of Phil Ramsdale, Haskin, Mann, and Sanders. Okay, Sanders in the past, okay, has been known to be quite hawkish, and actually they leave the MPC in August, so they're obviously replaced with another member. So there's 5 hawks, okay, in this committee. So we have 4 doves, 5 hawks. So it is interesting to see how the MPC vote will go, who will come out on top, so to speak, and whether or not there's going to be a bit more members in the hawkish camp. And they do indeed, like I say, go for the 50 basis points. But the point being is that, like I said beforehand, or earlier on, the Bank of England are not in the position of, say, the Fed is. Okay, the Fed is. The Fed yesterday, like I say, what Jay Powell said, he said that the US economy, he was confident that the US economy can handle interest rate hikes. Okay, because again, they've got a reasonable, stable labor market. I mean, we have to see what the initial claims come out later, obviously, but excuse me, they've got a pretty stable labor market and their economy is still performing quite well. We can't say the same about the UK. Okay, with all the obstacles the UK are currently facing, you cannot say the same about the UK, because if we just have a look at the economic data which you have come out of the UK today, this week, sorry, GDP negative 0.3%, 0.3%. Expectation was 0.2%, so it was a negative. So their gross domestic product negative 0.3%. Previously, it was negative 0.1. So there is, again, it's getting slightly worse. Industrial production came out minus 0.6%. Okay. Like I said, the US has a fairly stable job market at the moment. And the UK, their job market is, again, feeling the strain. What happened on Tuesday, we had the claimant count. Okay. Came in minus 19,700. Okay, the number expected was minus 49,000, so a lot less than expected. Okay, don't forget the UK does it the other way around. Negative number or higher the negative number, the better the claimant count is. Unemployment came in at 3.8% against the expectation of 3.6%. So again, not great news. So unlike the United States, I don't know whether the Bank of England has the power to actually go more aggressively and do the 50 basis points. I really don't. I think, in many ways, the UK is bordering on recession anyway. I know we've all talked about the dreaded recession, potentially global recession. The US is not close to that yet, but the UK is brinking on the edge of it. So I think this could be a thing. Let's pull up. How long we got? We've got 50 seconds. Let's pull up my chart, okay? We'll have a look at it and bring it up and ready for it, okay? Obviously, I'm going to be looking at the cable, euro sterling as well, okay? So let's put it on the 30-minute chart and we'll have a look at it. I've got those couple of levels I've been watching, okay, which is obviously on a 4-hour chart. Current area, potential resistance, maybe area I've been watching at is 121.97. Potential area of interest for support 1.20034. That I think is going to be quite interesting to watch. So let's have a quick look. It's about to come out now. Let's get ready. Okay, get ready. I've got my trusty phone on me as well, ready to see it. Okay. Oh, don't forget, we've got the Bank of England minutes as well, comes out at the same time. So let's have a look. So, right, anyway, let's get ready. 1.25 is the expectation. What is the outcome? Come on, any minute. Any second. Okay, we can already see. We see that the cable. Right. As expected, 1.25%. So they did increase by 0.25%, 0.25 basic points. So they did do that. Comes in at 125. MPC vote, no split. So all 9 members voted for the rate hike to stay. So they voted just for 0.25. So there we have it. So yeah, no surprise, as anticipated, as expected, 1.25. So not as aggressive as the S&P, not as aggressive as the Fed, okay, not as aggressive as the Reserve Bank of Australia either. So yeah, kept to 0.25. Again, not surprised because, like I said, you know, the UK or the Bank of England, they're stuck between a rock and a hard place where they don't have the tools like the Fed does. So I'm not surprised by that. Okay, the initial reaction, obviously we see the sterling against the dollar has dropped down, has spiked down on that. It's now trading around, currently trading at 1.2097. It is trading above, slightly above the 100-day moving average, is above that area of interest of 1.2, but it is under the 200-day moving average. Let's have a look at the euro sterling. Let's have a look at the euro sterling on the other side as well. Okay, again, no big surprise. You see euro strength against the sterling at the moment, slight spike higher, currently trading at 0.8596. It's both, this on a 30-minute chart, remember, though, don't forget. Both still under the 100, 50, and the 200-day moving average. Okay, so it spiked higher. But yeah, so there we are. We're seeing a weaker sterling on that reaction. Currently seeing a weaker sterling on that reaction. Let's have a quick look, see how the guppy did, which is the Great British Pound, Japanese yen. See the reaction there with that. Again, slight weakness, the pound against the yen. It's trading currently at 1.60.81. Let's have another look. Obviously, the GDP Swiss franc. That would be interesting. Okay, after today's news as well, after the S&B, Swiss National Bank did indeed increase interest rates by 50 basis points. You saw that drop when they did it. Sterling remains under pressure with that at 1.840. Be interesting. And so far, it's spiked down to this level, 1.824. Be interesting to see that level potentially holds. So there we have it. That's again, is way under the RSI as well. So that's interesting. That'd be a level to keep an eye on. So yeah, in a nutshell, Bank of England doesn't surprise anybody, doesn't surprise the market. But at the same time, that non-surprise is also really sort of weakened, which was sterling, which was already under a considerable amount of pressure anyway. So there we go, no surprise. But there we go, weaker sterling. Bank of England, you know, the old lady as they call her, just does exactly what she said she was going to do. So no surprises there. Okay, now don't forget, I'm going back online again later this afternoon at 1 p.m. UTC. That will go into a lot more detail of what has happened over, you know, throughout the majority of the market. We'll look at what the S&P's reaction this morning, and that big surprise. And we'll look ahead towards the US session coming up, of course. Don't forget, whenever I'm online, I'm live, you can ask me questions. Do interact if you like to. This is what I'm here for, and it is nice to have some sort of interaction. So do feel free to chat to me. I'm going to have a quick look now at the Bank of England minutes as well, because that would be interesting. That's released today. It's more of a statement and a breakdown of how the MPC or the BOE sees the current economic situation of the UK. So that'd be interesting to see. But there we go. Okay, there's no questions, so no problem whatsoever. Anyway, so don't forget, I'll be back online at 1 p.m. UTC. So please join me, and we'll have a quick look at what has happened so far in Europe, as well as what potentially can happen in the United States as US opens. So yeah, please come and join me then. Now, remember, if you're watching me on Facebook and you found this program interesting or you liked it, give us a follow if you like. If you're watching me on YouTube and you've enjoyed it and liked it, subscribe if you like, hit the notification button, etc. If you found this program interesting and insightful, by all means, give me one of these. It's nice to know that someone's liked it. But anyway, till next time, or till later this afternoon at 1 p.m. UTC. Anyway, till next time, remember, these little videos are for educational purposes only, and in no way whatsoever should ever be taken as advice. I always suggest you do your own research and do your own diligence. And of course, know the risks at hand before entering any trade. Till next time, every single one of you, trade safe.